been working at home. Whether or not being here or whatever, but it feels good to be out on the field. But more or less, man, it's more about the locker room and being around these guys. I was in the house for 360 for a whole year, man, and love my wife and I love my son. But I was, I'm pretty sure she was ready for me to get back out here too, and talking football off in her into her ear and her head. So I'm glad to be back. Glad to be around all the guys. Just glad to be back in the facility.
Well, it was an exciting time because I think we acquired some fantastic football players, but more importantly, we got some great men that are going to be great assets to our locker room. But I understand just as well as anyone else that spending money doesn't equal results. For us, it's going to be about coming together, executing, respecting the process of trying to get better, of trying to work with one another, and winning each and every day. So it is exciting to an extent, but excitement only gets you so far. At some point, you have to go out there and work and earn it and prove it.
It didn't make me feel any type of way because he was the right pick, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion. And, he was the best player available, and that's what the NFL draft is for. As far as, having any chip on the shoulder, you're stating the obvious. I don't need too much to get myself going, let alone, that happening. And it's no disrespect to Mac. It's no disrespect to, Bill and his decision. I support it 110% because you still have to do what's right for the organization. As a competitor, I'd be a fool if I didn't think Brian Hoyer wants to be a starter. I'd be a fool not to think if Mac and Cheese didn't want to be a starter. I'd be a fool if, Jarett Stidham didn't want to be a starter. And you'll be a fool not to think that I don't want to be a starter. But those things happen with the comfort of understanding the system. We all know nothing's going to be given to nobody. And it's just that competition each and every day with yourself is going to bring out the best in everybody else. So the better that I am, the better Mac will be. The better Mac is, the better he's going to, make me be. The better, Stiddy is, that's going to make, and the list goes on, especially with Hoyer. Hoyer is a person who sets the tone for that room. He's been here the longest. He has so much a great feel, and we all learn from each other. So the better off everybody is in that room, the better off we will all be.
Yeah, my approach doesn't change at all. My every day when I come in the building, my approach is to learn from the people around me. Obviously, the coaches, the players that have been playing a long time in this league, and learn as much as possible and continue to grow. So, with drafting Mac, that hasn't really changed my approach. I can control what I can control, and that's how hard I work. How prepared I am, and those things haven't changed. So, like I said, my mindset has really been the same. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely fires me up. Last year bringing in Cam, before training camp, that fired me up to continue to get better and to continue to grow as a player. So definitely fired up to be competing against Mac, Hoy, and Cam. It's a great room. So it's a lot of fun to be in there, but yeah, definitely fired up to compete against those guys every day.
Well, whichever side I end up playing on, it really doesn't even matter to me. I think we have two great guards, and of course, I feel like we have one of the best centers in the league. And then whatever side me and Isaiah play, we'll have two of the best tackles in the league. So I think we'll get back in the saddle of having one of the best O-lines in the league, if not the best O-line. We just got to continue to put the work in, work on the fundamentals, and get back to the basics, and we'll be just all right. We'll be just fine.
I'm so proud of him and everything that he's accomplished in his great career here. I think he's one of the all-time great Patriots. He means the world to me. His friendship is something that I value above all things. So I hope that Patriots Nation continues to celebrate him and look back on his career with fondness and gratitude, because he gave us a lot of great memories in Patriots uniform. I think when you talk about what he brought to this team, look, there's not going to be another Julian Edelman that comes through here. So he was so unique. His DNA was one of one. The toughness, the intensity, the ability to compete at a high level when the game was on the line. I've never seen anything like it. So when you talk about guys trying to step up and fill that void, I think it's key that they just be themselves. I mean, that, you know, this organization has had players that have come through here, starting with Tom and others, that you just don't replace. And you don't try to be that guy. You just got to be yourself. So, look, we need guys to be tough. We need guys to be accountable. When the time is right, we need guys to be vocal and try to encourage their teammates to bring their game to a different level. But they've got to do it their way. They can't try to do it like Julian did, because there's only one Julian. So I'm excited to see who steps up, how guys lead. I think, again, young guys need to start taking ownership of this football team because the old guard only has so much time here left. So I look forward to seeing that next wave of that next generation of leaders and men who are really going to take ownership of this team. But you talk about Julian, man, what a career he had. I still remember when he was drafted out of Kent State as a quarterback and came in here with his buzz cut, looking like a square, looking like me, actually. And now he's Mr. GQ. So shout out GQ. I hope he sees this. I look forward to watching him and seeing what he does moving forward.